Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to, on behalf of Global Ties Alabama, begin our Global Perspectives Institute. So excited about our conversation and this particular webinar, which is called Celebrating Citizenship, the Path to Patriotism. We are especially privileged to host the conversation this afternoon, especially because of the timely coincidence with the passing of an icon who was so much of a inspiration to us all in terms of how to put into action human rights and civil rights. So I'd like to just take a moment to recall the life and contributions of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Of course, since we're all friends here, I'll just say I'm particularly proud because she's from my hometown of Brooklyn, New York. And she was quite a lady, and we're just thankful for the impact that she had on our community, locally, nationally, and globally. Today is National Citizenship Day. So it's an official opportunity for us as a nation to celebrate our Constitution from a standpoint of focus on responsibilities that we all have as citizens in the collective efforts that we have to demonstrate in order to sustain what we want to be a more perfect union. And so being able to focus attention on those of you who have become citizens in our great country, and especially here in Alabama, we want to celebrate you on this National Citizenship Day. So I'd like to now turn it over to moderator. When you think of citizenship in Huntsville, for us at Global Ties Alabama, there's only one name. She doesn't like us to celebrate her bio. She doesn't like to share it. She's very humble, and that's because she's a servant leader. She's about action. She's about results. And each of our panelists today will probably speak to the impact that Becky Harshenko, who leads the Weatherly Heights Baptist Church Citizenship and ESL training program. It makes such a difference for so many in our community, and we're delighted that Becky is serving as today's moderator. Our panel is quite diverse, and she will be introducing our panelists. So Becky, I'll turn it over to you with appreciation for the work that you do, the legacy that you've had, and for the moderating of today's conversation.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you for inviting us. And we are happy to always share, and happy especially today on this special Citizenship Day. You know, the Weatherly Heights Baptist Church has been involved for over 50 years working with internationals in Huntsville. We started working with the other Baptist churches in an English class 50 years ago, and those classes are still being held at First Baptist Church on Governor's Drive. But 25 years ago, Weatherly Heights Baptist decided to start our own English classes. And we quickly saw a need to add citizenship to our English classes. So now we have classes for all levels of English, as well as conversation classes for students to learn to better communicate and appreciate our multicultural world. The English and citizenship classes have been held every Wednesday morning and Wednesday night until COVID-19 came along, and we had to make some changes. So for the safety of our students and our teachers, most of our classes now are like this. They're on Zoom, and they're held all different days of the week, morning and night, according to the 15 volunteer teachers we have in their class to suit their schedule. Now, the people who are with us today are students in our program, and they are going to help me tell you about the citizenship part of our program. They are the ones who have gone through the process. They have become citizens, and they have been tested to prove that they are going to be good citizens. So first, I want to introduce to you Sandra. Sandra is our newest citizen. I think she beat Maria by being our newest, and she was a student of Dr. Preston Augustus, and just got her. How long ago did you get your citizenship, Sandra?
I just got it on the 28th of July.
August? Or July? In
Yes,
July.
in July.
Great. Would you tell us something about yourself? Maybe how long you've been here, or why you came, or why you wanted to be a citizen? What would you like to tell us?
Okay, I have a little bit story. So I moved on 1997, and then I was so excited to see my brother. That's the main reason I moved over here. So when I moved, also for I moved because I was going to school, but you know the economic reasons, we can just finish everything. So the other part is economic reasons. And then when I moved, I was in California for quarter B, and then my sister moved to New York, and then I moved to New York after going to school over there, and I love it. But then after 3 years later, then I moved to Indiana, and I got married, and I have 2 kids. The main reason I wanted to be a citizen is because I think this is my home, and I like the country. I like to be free, and this country is about freedom. And I just want to be okay and be a good citizen, not just for me, for my whole family.
How hard was it for you to take the test? What was it? How did you study for the test?
I was so nervous. I used to go to classes at your church. So I take classes with Preston, and I love it. I thought I can do it, and I used to go every Wednesday, and I didn't miss any class, I think, because I wanted to do it. But then I had to wait for like 5 years before I became a citizen. I had to wait 5 years, and because of COVID-19, I submit my application, and then when I submitted, I had to wait probably into the month of February. They called me, but then they stopped because COVID. And then as soon as they opened the office, they sent me a letter that I can do my test. I was so nervous, but I started studying every night. I just like at night because it's quiet. And then I was so nervous, but I make it.
Excuse me, where did you go to take your test?
On Birmingham. I take my test on Birmingham.
Okay.
But we had to wait like until 15 minutes before the date. I mean before the hour that we had to the appointment. We can't get inside until 15 minutes before.
Because of the virus, you had to be safe, right? You told me something very unusual about your ceremony when you were the swearing in.
Oh yeah, the ceremony, it was kind of funny because I don't know, I was totally lost. We just went in the parking lot, and then we just had to wait in there. They give us the paper, and they come over. There's the person, I guess they know how many people they have, so they go into our cards. As soon as we get in, they go into our cards and they ask us that they need a paper, and then if we want to change our names or any changes, and then we have to fill it out the paperwork right there. And they told us you just have to wait until we tell you. We will let you know whenever you're ready for the ceremony. And then It probably takes like 10 or 15 minutes right there in the parking lot, and we have to go in a car. We
It was
just
it was a drive-by. You stayed in
drive
the
by.
car, right?
Yes, all my family going on a riding around, and we have to do that ceremony, and that is a person right there that gives the ceremony. They do our swears and everything, and that's it. They give us a paper, sign it, and we're ready to go.
Oh, do you have any, can you tell us what you're going to do now to be a good citizen?
I would like to vote right now. That's
Good.
the main reason I wanted to be a citizen, because I want to make changes on this country. I just wanted to be voting.
You want to be a part of making it a better country, right?
Yes.
Good. Is there anything else you want to say, or shall we move on to the next person?
You can move on to the next person. That was my experience, and then I like it. I mean,
We'll let you come back in later, okay?
okay.
I think Maria got your citizenship about the same time, didn't you?
Yes, I got my citizenship. I went for the interview on July 23rd, and then about 3 weeks later, they coming for the swearing. Yeah.
Did you have a drive-by ceremony also?
No, I didn't. I did not. My interview. Well, when I went to swear, we had to make a line outside, do a line, and then 5 by 5 by group. 5 people. They go in a in a little open area that they had there, and then you just swear like 3 or 4 minutes, and you get out. They give, like she said, they gave you an envelope. They gave me this envelope with all my stuff in it. There was this flag. That's what it is. And they gave me the certificate. Yeah, yeah.
Now, where was your ceremony?
Mine was in Montgomery.
And where was your test?
My test in Birmingham.
Okay. Tell us anything you want to about yourself or about the classes.
My test and my swearing was in Birmingham. My fingerprints was in Birmingham.
Okay, okay. Well, what would you like to tell us about why you wanted to be a citizen, or how you went about preparing for it?
Well, I've been married for 14 years. So it is about time for me to become a citizen.
You married an American citizen?
Yes, because that way it helps me to go to my country as many times as I want, and I can stay longer. That way I don't have any problems.
You have a passport now, U.S. passport.
And you can, yes, now I can get a U.S. passport. Now I can register for voting, and you have so many things being a citizen. Yeah.
Why do you think it was important for you to, did you have to study U.S. history, American history?
Yes, I had to study. I had three girls. So in my book stay in the car. So I told the kids, can you ask me some questions? And they asked me questions, and they knew some of them because they're in school and they knew the answers and everything. So my kids helped me too. Yes, they helped to study the test. Yes.
What else would you like to tell us about the process?
Well, for
now
me,
you studied with a different teacher from the one.
Yes, I was with Miss Charma for almost 2 years, and then she left, and then Miss Carla took over.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really enjoyed being at those classes. First of all, because you can meet other people. You can have communication, meet other people, teachers, students, and it helps you in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So what does it mean to you and your family for you to be a citizen now?
First of all, one of my girls, my oldest girl, she's 10, and she said, "Mommy, I pray for you to pass the test." And then also she said, "I'm proud of you." And that, you cannot believe how much that meant to me. I know, yes, it meant a lot. So they're very proud of me, yes.
What else would you like to tell us?
Well, I haven't told you where I am from, but I am from Honduras.
Okay, good.
I am from Honduras, and I came to the U.S. with a fiancé visa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got in the States. Marriage, I tell everybody that marriage brought me here.
Okay.
That's why I am here. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll come back later and give you another chance. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
Now, if we go to Natalia, Natalia's been in the United States a long time, haven't you?
Yes, I have been living here since 2000, already 20 years.
Okay, well, would you like to tell us why you came or why you wanted to be a citizen?
I came to America because I was lucky to win a green card lottery. Every year, the American government holds green card lottery in which is raffles permit resident in their country. And I won for all family, for my husband and for my daughter. We just fought a lot about everything and decided, since there is such an opportunity, we must not miss it. Because I'm from Russia, when I applied for green card, it was 1998, and I win next year from first time. And this time in Russia was very hard life, and we decided to try to go to America and try to know new life for us, and especially for our daughter, because she was 20 years old at this time, and we wanted to be, she has to have life better than we have. And we decided to go to America. And because this is, you can get new career opportunity, find a comfortable place for every age, and especially we went to America, I was 45, it's not young. And most important for daughter. And America is a democratic country where the government is elected transparently, what is not available in Russia yet. 20 years is over there, life not better. Maybe you have more foods there, but life for people not good. Continue still not so good. And why I wanted to be a citizenship, because I live here. And after 5 years, we apply right away for citizenship. We don't wait a long time, just after years like pass and we apply. And our documents were approved. We went with my husband together everywhere, every time, and we invited together on to the exam. And we, of course, my husband and I was very nervous, but prepared, and this great event, and everything went very well. And exam was passed, and after 2 weeks, we received a citizenship. It's happened very fast for us. It was interesting because I know many stories, people wait the ceremony just 2 years, but for us it's happened after 2 weeks. And I'm very lucky.
You had to study the same 100 questions that they study today, did you?
Yes, yes, but I live this time in a different state. I live in New Mexico, Albuquerque, and we don't have to go to different city. We have fingerprint in Albuquerque, exam there, and ceremony there too. And it's different maybe here.
I think we did not make it really clear that the first thing you do when you apply, you have to go do the fingerprints.
Yes.
And here in Alabama, you have to go to Birmingham for that.
Yes.
But you were able to do it in your same city.
Yes.
And then
Everything the same
after that, you study for the exam. And we have 100 questions that you
Yes,
study
yes.
for the exam. And that's what the class helps you with. Or
But I study English in Albuquerque also, but we don't have any citizen class there. And we study with my husband. He exam me, I exam him. And we prepare together and read a lot of books and answer practice every time. And my husband Russian also, it's not easy to speak English at home. And it's continue the same. We talk and started to speak English maybe 10 minutes. And I cannot explain something for him and started speak Russian again. It's not
well, that brings up, I know you still go to the classes, even though you already are a citizen. Why do you go to English classes, Natalia?
Yes, this reason, first reason, because I speak Russian every time with my daughter. Now I have already 2 granddaughters and I speak with them in Russian also. And I need to speak Russian because I live here. Everybody speak English here. And these classes give me to meet another people from different country, and I like to know from different country what happened there and how they live there. And I have a lot of friends everywhere. When I came to America, we came to New York first. My husband found job in California. We moved to California. From California, he lost job there. He moved to Albuquerque because he find job there. And everywhere I have a lot of friends from different country, and I'm lucky too and happy for this.
And your class now is meeting on Zoom, is that right?
Yes, yes.
How is that different?
Oh, it's a little bit different. Like it's communicate face to face is easier. Then we can just can talk and little bit ask something there and
Well, we hope they'll be back in person soon. Is there something else you'd like to tell us about what your citizenship means to you?
I wanted to be a citizen, like I already said, because I live here, and we wanted to have a right to vote in state and federal election and participate in democratic process. And with American passport, you can travel everywhere. It's very good too. The US citizen also gives us right to apply for federal job and the other job. And my husband have federal job, but and I and I share the values and ideas of this country and love by its rules. We love our country now. And
Okay, thank you. And we'll come back and let anybody ask questions or you have other things, but let's go to Linda, who is from Barbados, and tell us about yourself and your citizenship story, Linda.
Okay, well, I came to the US about 21 years ago. And when I came, my friends asked me if I was crazy. They said, of all the places you want to go, you're going to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
As a Black woman, why would you want to go to Alabama? And I was like, oh, I will go. I will be at Oakwood. It is worth it. And so I initially came for school. And I remember some of my friends that I met, they kept on trying to fix me up. And I kept on saying, no, you don't need to fix me up because I'm going back to Barbados as soon as I'm finished. And I was very, very adamant about that. And 21 years later, I am still here. When I came and I was going through, I realized the great divide. when you're not a citizen, there are so many different opportunities that you can't partake of. I remember I wanted to go on this missionary trip, and I remember they said to me, well, the US is on the list, but your country is not, so you can't go. And the US was on every single list for every single country. And I thought, wow. So that was the initial. And then over the years, as I have lived here and interacted with all the different people, I thought to myself, this is awesome. Even when I went back to Barbados, I would look forward to returning to the US. And so the US has truly become my home. And the path to citizenship, it has been really exciting, but also nerve-wracking. I listened to Sandra and Maria and Natalia talk about how nervous they were with the test. I went to Brainscape and I put all 100 of those questions in there and the responses, and I would be studying and studying, and you're studying and hitting yourself on your head going, I know that. Why didn't I get that? And so it was nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time. There's so much. I'm trying to decide which stuff to talk about. But in terms of my citizenship, I went to Birmingham for my biometrics, but I went to Montgomery for my test and for my swearing in, and just like the others, we had the drive-through. And one of the things that was so disappointing for me was that I was so looking forward to being together with all those other people who were going to become citizens that day. And I was just thinking about how lovely it was going to be. And so when the guy said to me, yes, so when we call on you, you'll go through in the car and we'll do the ceremony, and then you'll keep on driving. And I looked at him and I said, what did you just say? And he repeated it. And I said, so it's just going to be me? He said, oh, and whoever else you can bring in the car. And I thought, wow, that's going to be way, way different. And that was unexpected. But one of the things that was so lovely was one of the gentlemen, he made it possible for me to get a picture inside with the flag and with the two flags and all the cheers and things like that, to try to give me a mental picture. God knew that I wanted that, and so he made it possible. One of the other things, people say, what does it mean to your family? For my husband, it means no more paperwork. That's what it means, no more paperwork, and now I'm a citizen just like him. And one of the other parts too is that for him, it wasn't a big transition because, I'm still the same wife that he had. So it's not a big transition for him. So I think it holds more importance for when you are a non-citizen becoming a citizen, because sometimes even the citizen doesn't understand everything that's involved because they've always had citizenship as well.
Okay, well, let's move on to at Weatherly Baptist, what we call our secret weapon. We have a secret weapon and a deacon of our church who is a longtime member, but he's also a citizenship expert. Dr. Preston Augustus is the Regional Director of Intellect International Students Program, which recruits students from other countries for the colleges all over the Southeast of the United States. He's been teaching a citizenship class with us and also is available to help any of our students with the paperwork or any other problems they might have. And also, Preston is a naturalized citizen from Nigeria. So Preston, how about telling us anything we missed about process and your experience also?
Thank you. I want to echo the first speaker and say thank you, Becky, so much for this program and other things that you do at Weatherly. I don't know if with my experience, I've been a member of the church since 1993. And I don't know, in my experience, if you were not doing this, who will be doing it? So I appreciate that and thank you for devoting your time to this volunteer work, totally volunteer. Well, I want to just make a comment about what the previous speakers have said. They are citizens now, so they probably know more than I do about the the current situation now surrounding application, testing, and sitting for the exam and getting sworn in. I think their experiences have been so useful, and what they're telling us today, very important. I don't know that I have anything to add to what they have said because they are citizens now. If they were non-citizens, then I could entertain questions from them and answer them. But I would like to just make a couple of comments. I have been a citizen for 28 years now. I've been in this country for 38 years. And it's been my experience that the number one reason that many people come here is financial. And well, I like to tell my friends they come for the money, they stay for the culture and, and the practice of US citizens in terms of freedom. I think everybody loves freedom. So a lot of people, you know, come in just to have a better life, but they stay for the most part because they can have the better life in an atmosphere that gives them the freedom to choose whatever they want to do. There are other countries of the world that people, you know, go to become citizens. I have friends in so many countries of the world, but almost without exception, they let me know that they could be citizens of these countries.
We've lost the audio. Preston is disconnected.
And the video too.
Yes. Maybe he'll figure that out, or I should call him and tell him. Can we chat with him?
Yeah.
In the meantime, Sandra, would you tell us what country you're from?
I'm from Mexico. I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
Mexico. Okay.
Mexico, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And Linda, you have a position at Alabama A&M where you interact with the international students. Has your citizenship or desire for citizenship made a difference in terms of your day-to-day responsibilities? Could you share that as well while we're waiting to reconnect with Preston?
I think it was the transition from non-citizen to citizen helped me to be more helpful to my international students because so many times when they're interacting with others, they don't understand that there's a barrier. So when an international student sometimes might be saying, oh, well, this is an issue or that's an issue, someone else who is a citizen is looking at them and they're saying, no, you just go ahead and do it, because they have always been afforded that right to do it. And sometimes the restriction, excuse me, that is on the non-citizen is not recognized. And so it helps to be kind of like that translator, because you've been on both sides, and also you've become now more educated on what you can and you can't do. So in my role, although I'm not, you know, the international student liaison per se, in my role working with the international students, it has definitely been a benefit, moving from non-citizen to citizen.
I have not been able to reestablish that. I've sent him a text, but I don't know if he's seeing that. How about if there are other questions that any of you have that you would like to ask any of our participants today? I would like to say that we are ongoing right now, have a citizenship class on Monday night. It's led by Carla Actaloni. I'm not sure I got that right, but Carla has that class on Monday night on Zoom that is already has 9 people, and we try to limit our Zoom classes to 5. So she said if there are other new students who would like to take her Zoom class on citizenship, she'll just go to a different night to start a second class. And Preston has an in-person class at the church on Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock. It's a one-on-one right now. He could take 2 or 3 more, but keep it small and distanced and wearing masks so that it would be safe. So those are the classes that we have in addition to our English classes. Those are the citizenship classes we have. Questions?
Becky, I think Preston is back, but Bhavani, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. Becky, I was wondering, what do you teach in your citizenship class? Do you go with us 100 questions, or you go the history, or, you know, my citizenship is a long time back, maybe about 50 years back.
But we have had people take the class who don't need the citizenship, but wanted the history. And
No, I'm saying that what do you cover now? I'm sure it's the same questions probably, but what do you cover, and do you try to teach them, because English may be a little bit difficult sometimes for some of them. So how do you, you know, come out of that challenge?
Well, we have a textbook that does cover the questions, the 100 questions, but in the context of the history, so that when you're studying the questions about the history or even the government, there are lessons that put that into context. And of course, you know, one of our former teachers who was such an excellent teacher with that, but our teacher now is using the same textbook, and they are going through the process. What is the process? And they go through helping students know what the application, where they are in the process, and how to go about applying. But they study the history and the government and civics and everything that pertains to the test. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Now, we have people who attend the class, maybe who don't need the citizenship, but they want to get a better overview of American history or the political process.
And how long does the process take now? I think somebody said 3 weeks when they apply.
Oh, well, it changes. It has changed over the years, according to there have been periods of time when it seemed that they were not doing anything in terms of taking the applications or processing or setting up appointments or anything. And other times it goes very fast. So I don't think anyone can say how long it might take. Now, I tell students, our class is ongoing throughout the school year. So a person can come in at any time, at wherever we are, and continue with us until they feel that they've got all we have to offer. Some students lap over a year or two in the same class. Some students come in and can complete it and finish the process in a matter of a few months and move on somewhere else.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does it differ from country to country? you know, the time that it takes from an
I don't think so. I think that the process is the same for everybody. Is that right?
Yes.
Preston is back. Is that right, Preston?
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
it would not take a different length of time for somebody from different countries to do the
No,
same thing.
no. And it depends on which office is handling your paperwork. You
Oh,
know, they are faster in some places than other places. So it depends on them, the local office.
Well, right now, because of the COVID, I heard on NPR, nobody is giving the test anymore. But right at the same time, Maria and Sandra were completing their process and becoming new citizens. So
Yeah.
Alabama was doing it, although NPR was announcing that nobody was doing it.
No.
So it's just, it depends on the state and it depends on the
Mhm.
national.
Mhm.
I have a question. This is David Person. I'd like to know if the current cultural and or political climate has created any unique challenges for any of our guests who have recently become citizens or who are in the process of doing so.
Oh, he's asking
Well,
you citizens about that question. Has the context of today's culture
can
created?
you hear me well?
Yes. Go ahead. Did you, Preston?
Can you hear me, Becky?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Because it seems like you're stalling. Okay, all right. Well, the thing that we need to understand is that the president, whoever is in office as president, really sets the tone for what happens with immigration. During the presidency of Barack Obama, a lot more people were deported than the guys who came before him. But now we are in a totally different dispensation. What's happening now is that immigration is not saying generally, oh, we're going to make it hard for you to become a citizen. But because the people, for instance, I know as a matter of fact that a lot of people in the local office in Montgomery here and Atlanta, Georgia, were reassigned when President Trump came to power. And all these people were replaced by those who will sympathize with the president's agenda. But in my judgment and in my experience, people, and this is, I'm not trying to make a political statement here, but this is even something you can verify with local attorneys or, attorneys in Georgia. They will tell you that applicants from Africa, they face bigger challenges now than applicants from other parts of the world. Yes, and that's, so I appreciate that because they draw the work crew from people in that society. People who live in Montgomery are going to be the ones hired to work in the Montgomery office, and they will be interviewed for that position. So it makes it a little more difficult for some, and the president has not made a secret of the fact that he prefers people from Europe than people from Africa. I mean, that's common knowledge. And that makes it more difficult for, and before I stop, I want to make a brief comment on what one of the previous speakers said about the ability to go and come back to the country. Well, if you are a citizen, you can be gone for 30 years and still come back, no questions asked. But if you're a green card holder, if you, this may be for the benefit of our friends here, who are not citizens yet. If you go outside the country and you're a green card holder, you cannot stay for as long as you want outside the country because you can have trouble when you get back. And I know that new citizens here will recall that in the questions that they have to answer when they apply for citizenship, they ask, how long have you been away from the country? How many times have you left the country? So, and I've had people who were turned down because they spent too much time outside the country and they had to fight and fight and fight to get their citizenship. So I just would like to add that.
I'd like to thank our panelists today and certainly our moderator. Obviously, we could have more discussion and perhaps there'll be a follow-up Global Perspectives Institute on the whole immigration topic. But what I'd like to really appreciate the panelists for all of them valuing their citizenship. And when a couple of them were asked, what are you going to do now? Consensus was, I'm going to vote. So you should know that today is also National Voter Registration Day. It's one thing to say I'm going to vote, but please know that you must be registered to vote. And as Preston said, this is a message not just for our new citizens, but for friends and family and colleagues. Let's please remember that voting is important, that there is a process, and that you can vote in person, you can vote by mail, but it's also important to know what's on the ballot. So continue your education, look at the issues that will be included on the ballot. Don't go in and think you're only going to vote for a president or for a local official. There are also constitutional changes that will be listed, and if you do your research, you'll be able to do that. The slide that we have here shows that if you want to register to vote, you can go on nationalvoterregistrationday.org /register. You can vote, begin that process and learn all of the information that you need online.
Jackie, let me say that Alabama was the first state in the nation to offer in-person voting early, and I have already voted. All you have to do is go to the first floor of the courthouse, and in less than 10 minutes, you can walk in there, get your application, get your ballot, fill it out, and leave it there, and you know it's there. You don't have to worry about the post office. And
Becky, I appreciate that testimony because sometimes we hear about the process, but unless we know someone who has successfully completed it, we might not believe that it's real. It's real. Becky has done it. I know I have submitted absentee ballots in the past, but please, please make your effort not on November 2nd, but now, and you must register. There are deadline dates for registering, and so you should know about those as well.
This early voting you can do, everybody can do it now because of COVID. All you have to put down is health reasons is the reason you're asking for an absentee ballot to vote early.
Great point, great point. We'd also like to invite you to our Global Perspectives Institute next Tuesday, the 29th of September, and the topic will be on Africa to America. We're going to have a global conversation on COVID-19, and you'll see the flyer listed. We have Tanya Pryor, who's with the North Alabama Research Organization, and then Dr. Omo is what I call her, is one of our Hidden No More delegates from November 2019. She's a physician in Nigeria, and she has been dealing with COVID, and we're going to have that bi-continent conversation. Again, thank you for joining us. Please join us next week. And ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful conversation. Thank you for adding value this afternoon. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
All the best to you new folks. You're welcome to your citizenship.
Thank you, Becky.